The world of televangelism is no stranger to scandals and dramatic downfalls, but few names stir memories quite like Jimmy Swaggart. From massive influence and enormous wealth to headline-grabbing disgrace, Swaggart's life was nothing short of a roller coaster. Before we dive deep into this controversial figure's journey, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to ring the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Now, let's unpack the shocking story of televangelist Jimmy Swaggart, who recently passed away at the age of 90. Jimmy Swaggart wasn't always a household name. Born into poverty in Faraday, Louisiana, he spent his early years in the shadow of the oil fields, guided by a preacher father in a family known for their musical talent. In fact, music ran deep in his veins. His cousins included rock and roll legend Jerry Lee Lewis and country music star Mickey Gilley. From the start, Swaggart was drawn to the power of music and preaching, claiming he first heard God's calling at just 8 years old. He described the experience vividly, recalling goosebumps and tingling sensations that transformed his young life. Initially balancing work in oil fields with his passion for preaching, Swaggart fully embraced ministry at the age of 23, quickly making a name for himself with his fiery sermons and spirited gospel music. Soon enough, his charisma captured widespread attention, propelling him from small-town preacher to national televangelist sensation. Swaggart's media empire expanded rapidly through radio shows, magazines, and TV appearances, drawing millions to his passionate preaching style. Unafraid to spark controversy, he regularly made bold statements denouncing Roman Catholicism as a false religion and attributing Jewish suffering to their rejection of Christ. His unapologetic attitude fueled both adoration from followers and anger from critics. By the late 1980s, Jimmy Swaggart Ministries was booming, raking in an estimated $142 million annually. His massive Baton Rouge complex featured a worship center alongside impressive broadcasting and recording facilities. At his peak, Swaggart's sermons captivated huge audiences, moving congregants to speak in tongues and rise in passionate displays of faith. But behind his towering success loomed scandals that would eventually tarnish his name forever. In 1988, Swaggart's seemingly unstoppable career crashed dramatically when surveillance cameras captured him with Deborah Murphy, an admitted prostitute, in a New Orleans hotel. Murphy later confirmed that Swaggart had paid her to pose nude, plunging the Evangelist into the kind of scandal he'd previously accused others of engaging in. This revelation wasn't just devastating, it was humiliating. During a tearful televised sermon, Swaggart famously cried, "I have sinned against you," begging for forgiveness, but never explicitly acknowledging the incident. This emotional apology marked a turning point for Swaggart, who soon after resigned from the Assemblies of God, facing defrocking for rejecting mandated rehabilitation. The incident, ironically tied to his feud with fellow preacher Marvin Gorman, who had himself faced Swaggart's accusations of immorality, resulted in Swaggart paying Gorman a staggering $1.8 million settlement. Yet, the controversies weren't over. In 1991, Swaggart found himself entangled once again, detained in California alongside another prostitute, Rosemary Garcia. Adding to the scandal, police discovered pornographic magazines hastily hidden under his car seat, further tarnishing his reputation. The scandal's fallout was intense. Swaggart became a national joke, immortalized by comedian Phil Hartman's brutal satire on NBC's Saturday Night Live. His once vast audience drastically diminished, and his name became synonymous with scandal rather than salvation. Despite this, Swaggart persisted. Out of the public spotlight, but never entirely out of the pulpit, he continued preaching at Jimmy Swaggart Ministries alongside his son, Donnie. Their radio broadcasts reached 20 states, and internet streaming expanded their reach globally. Donnie passionately defended his father's legacy, praising him as a devoted servant of Christ. Swaggart's later years were quieter, marked occasionally by controversial statements, such as a 2004 sermon where he openly threatened violence against gay men, later issuing an apology. His public appearances grew increasingly rare, limited to special events like the funeral of Louisiana Secretary of State Fox McKeithen in 2005, and, notably, at cousin Jerry Lee Lewis's memorial in 2022, where the pair's gospel album, The Boys from Faraday, had just been released.